You're now in tune with Wockie World Radio. You guys mind introducing yourselves? We got some guests in the building.
Of course. Thank you for having us, Wockie. My name is Ricky Lake.
Hi, my name's Taifa.
And my name is XD.Rar.
You got a little mustache coming in there, XD.Rar.
It's been a long few days.
Boy, how's it?
I went to the barbershop before this, and the guy was talking to the guy who was giving a haircut about his struggling beard, and asked if you could shape it still.
Oh my god! I mean, I admire his,
That's like a quick $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude didn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, this is what I got. Like, can you help me out? What can we do with this? Me personally, I can.
The barbershop's all about confidence. That's what they're really selling you. So it's like, yeah.
Just hyping him up on his beard.
Basically.
They're definitely not selling you on price.
Yeah. All right, so like if Korn were to do a random out of pocket collaboration, who would it be? How would you think like a Mike Sherm and Korn?
Have you ever heard the Korn Dem Franchise Boys from back in the day?
Oh, dude, they have that on vinyl. I always forget to get that.
Korn
reminding me of
Korn was a step ahead of you there.
Yeah,
they did that.
reminded me of Ice-T collab with, I forget what the fuck band he did that shit with back in the day.
Was it Prophets of Rage?
No, it was almost, it sounded like Power
Public
Trip.
Enemy.
It was a name similar to
Oh,
Power
I
Trip.
remember that. It's the Chuck D did it too with I think it's I forget the name, but Rage Against the Machine.
We can
I was gonna say
back.
Rage Against the Machine. Honestly, I mean, I feel like back then it was a thing. It was like a phase.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it was, everybody had that point in their career where you hit that.
The whole like new metal phase was like trying to get white kids to like rap music, and like vice versa. They wanted crossover, and so that was why you saw like raps.
The Jay-Z.
I mean, Linkin Park Jay-Z won me over. That won me over.
That changed my life. I wouldn't be here.
That's damn near a red flag in somebody if they're like, yeah, I never fucked with that shit. I would be like, what?
What was your past
Yeah,
like?
what was your childhood
You listened
like?
to Taylor Swift primarily.
The Swifties.
The amount of times I've been like shitted on by the OGs, like you like Linkin Park, like
What?
Yeah. And I'll just have to be like, the fact that they did the anime.
You're already
and
talking to
rock,
tasteless
yeah,
and then
OGs
they had a
at
whole
that point.
they had a whole remix album of freaking Reanimation.
Yeah.
They're an OG on the street, clearly not in music.
Yeah.
I mean, I brought that up the other day. The is it Hybrid Theory was the album? What's the song called with the anime video?
Breaking the Habit.
Yes.
Yeah,
That video is half of what caught me with that.
So good. So good.
I think,
But also
was
tempo for that one with me. That was like the fastest thing that I heard in Linkin Park.
Yeah.
It was like drum and bass.
Yeah.
fucking
It was.
two-step.
Have you listened to the Reanimation album?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty much like a whole album with just remixes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they have like some drum and bass stuff in there and some other stuff.
I
That
believe
sounds
it.
cool.
Who was it? The Executioners, which was crazy. It's like a legendary turntable group. And did a video with them.
Oh shit.
But yeah, you guys just released a tape.
We did.
How do y'all feel about that? Any advice for the listeners?
Accomplished.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Advice: don't make music. Go get a plumber job. Just do it. Yeah.
Plumbers make pretty good money.
They do. You gotta deal with shit.
Well, yeah, they'll
Literally.
always need you. They won't always need
It's
this
like
genre of music.
Yeah. Ooh, he's spitting right
When
now.
AI takes over
No,
the
there's gonna
plumbing
be
jobs.
robot plumbers. Yeah, eventually. No, I
The
agree.
Roomba plumber.
Dude, I saw this thing the other day where they were
Bullshit.
betting
It's
on.
just a snake.
They put. Have you guys seen the Roomba pool where they bet on it? They put a Roomba in the middle of a pool table and like they bet on
That's
like,
lit.
it's pretty lit, and they put all the money in the Roomba and it's just like going around like they're waiting for their ball to go in.
Well, I'm sure they have to be mad inebriated.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean they're playing pool with the Roomba. It's definitely
That's a
I
concept.
wonder how that works out.
It's
There's a full video of it. It's lit. It works.
Got
It's
the
like
dude who just like throws dirt on the Roomba picks it up.
He throws like one granule and the room is like.
but no, I agree with Taifa. I would say just do it is a cliche yet very realistic piece of advice for anybody trying to make an album, a project, or also don't get caught up, especially these days. You don't have to get caught up in being like, this is an album or this is an EP or this is a mixtape or this is everybody just drops projects. Like you even said, we just dropped a tape. Like it's not a tape.
Yeah, paid or not.
Technically,
like,
but like, you know,
It's a full project, yeah.
It's a project, but it's whatever the audience wants to make it. And it's whatever when you release it, however you feel about it. So I'd say don't get caught up in the labels of everything. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like the main problem I've had is putting shit into the atmosphere, but like that is going to be every artist's obstacle. I feel is like stopping your perfectionism just to make sure something goes out, because you're gonna be perfecting shit all day. So just keep releasing your perfectionism. as it goes.
Yeah, you're gonna be your biggest critic most of the time. Yeah, you kind of should be. Like I feel like you're you're doing the right, you're doing the right thing if you're making music or making art, and you're your biggest critic. Because if you're not, then I don't know how that works out for you. But that being said, what XD.Rar is over here saying is facts. Like, gotta get out of your own head sometimes and just put shit out. Like, we'll be sitting there with like 50 unreleased songs and be like, it's not the end of the world. We still are. That's what I'm like. It's okay. It's okay to have an itinerary.
We made new shit.
And it's always okay to keep making shit. But yeah, that's shout out Studio Dad. That's something he definitely stresses on all of us is like, yeah, of course, make more music, but like, don't let making more music overshadow like some of the past things that you haven't released that are really like gems just sitting there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's funny because we almost accidentally got out of that mindset because we were trying to perfect old shit.
Yeah.
And then we were like, fuck it, we'll just literally make new shit for the entire tape.
I mean, but that's
the tape was stemmed from us like being like, all right, remember
like, that was part of the process though. That was part of the process, and it's something that I don't I don't ever regret something like that where we're like, oh, we want to we took our time out to go back and maybe look back at a bunch of old tracks, and in our mind at that time we're like, we can make these like fully the full songs that we would want to release right now. And then we went back and took that time. We're like, we don't want to do that with any of those. But if you don't do that, then how do you know? So
it's okay to be like, the songs were what they were.
Right.
When
There's
were
also
made.
just like ear fatigue. Like I personally, I have like a threshold the amount of times I can hear a song that like I worked on before. I'm like, I hate this song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it happens maybe like on the 50th listen. I'm like, like
the song has to be my perfectionist song, like as good as it gets.
By the time the shit comes out, I'm like, oh my god, I hate this song. But everyone's like, oh, they start singing it at you. You're like, oh, please stop.
If I hear "Flip My Own" one more fucking time, I will perform it again.
I try to have this thing where like I when it comes to like producers, a lot of them talk about making beats every day, stay consistent. But then I listen to like artists that I like that they just made a whole iconic album in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And like the correlation between not really doing much until you have it or keep doing it.
I think there's two different workflows, and I think there's also different timing. Like some people say that in an interview where the timing was working perfect for them to do that kind of thing, and then they won't tell you that there was a year before that they were spending every day doing shit. Now they're like, I just make shit in 2 days because they spent a year doing it already 3 years ago that you just don't know about. It's just BTS.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it goes from like, it can go down the chain like you're talking about doing that with a project. It'd be that way with a song. Like there's songs I've made in probably with Asa or Taifa or by myself in like 30 minutes. And some of those are my favorite songs I've ever made to me and to some of people that listen to my shit. They tell me the same thing. Like, that was really solid stuff. There's other songs that I took months to finish. Not like I'm working on it for every day for months, but it's something where I worked on a little bit and then it just sat there for hell long. It didn't even have a hook or anything. Then I went back to it. Somebody reminded me about it or something. And then it's still like a process of finishing a song. It's not something we're just finishing hella quick.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of those categories have any like, I don't look at them like, oh, I like that shit more. I like this shit more.
Mm-hmm.
I think people have the interpretation that when you are working on a song for 2 months, that it means that every single day you're working on that song. No, it just meant that I needed 2 weeks to rest from that song.
I mean, it goes to what Taifa is saying about ear fatigue too. It's like,
I've reached 25, so I know I'm getting too high. Let me leave the song alone for a second so I can actually come back to it with creative control.
Let it breathe.
It's funny going to like my Apple Music thing and looking at some of the because it shows like how many times you played a song like roughly.
Yeah.
And it'll be like crazy number for some of my own songs because it was probably like I was practicing or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, ear fatigue I think is one of the realest, most underrated like obstacles of making music. It probably goes with any type of art form. Like you probably get eye fatigue painting shit and like looking at.
I think it's the least mentioned thing that makes people give up.
It totally.
Like nobody talks about it. But
think about that with people who make food.
Yeah.
Like keep making the same dish until you finally get it.
Work in that restaurant, you'll love taking that food home for like 2 weeks.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
I definitely
third
worked.
week, you're like, I'll never eat here again.
I worked at some fire restaurants, and after a while, I'm like, dude, I'm
like,
good, bro. Yeah.
Sandwich?
Yeah, literally, I take it home for the homies. Like, I couldn't even do it anymore.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too, besides ear fatigue, that I've noticed is like I like to call it getting high on your own supply. So it's like, say you're a musician, you're a painter, right? And you keep making music, and you just play it for yourself. You play it for your friends. You put your shit on the wall. You give all your shit to your friends, but you don't actually like publicize the work that you do. I call it getting high on your own supply because it's like you're just perpetuating this like cycle of being like, oh, like this is the new song I did, but you're never like really putting it out there to grow up to
guilty
be, like, a fucking song. Like my process is that the second that I make a song, right, it's like my baby, it's my child, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I take that baby to school. That school is fucking Spotify, Apple Music, whatever the fuck. Or just leak it on SoundCloud, whatever. And then like that, it becomes a person. It like goes from my child to being like that's like an adult.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's no longer mine. It's like everybody else's. You know, it's like that. It becomes its own person. It grows up. You see it, you're like, wow, look at that. That song's so cool. Or it grows up and like does fentanyl and like folds under a fucking.
No, this is like a
Under
perfect fucking like a perfect analogy because
Yeah.
it's almost like you're sheltering the hell out of your child
Yeah.
by not letting
Yeah.
them see how big they could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said getting higher.
Because it's comfortable for you.
Yeah, but
And sometimes you're like, this kid of mine sucks.
Yeah.
And then you let your kid out into
Get
the
the
world,
fuck outta here,
and
yeah.
everybody's like, yo, your kid is tight. Like,
I'm
this kid's
sorry I
dope.
doubted you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
That-
a real thing.
Just to bring that back to the project too, that is something that was definitely every time I release stuff, it's always fun to see what it is people actually like. Because by now and probably all of us know it'll never be what we feel.
Yeah.
Like my favorite songs off the project are never gonna be what other people say, but it's still cool to hear that. It's cool to hear like, oh, cool. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, we're talking about ear fatigue and all that, but like it is our shit. Like I'm not gonna hate it for real. I want to throw it in the trash. But
I'm
like,
just personally not gonna.
personally, yeah, exactly.
I do care.
But
about
then
what happens to
it's
it.
very reassuring when that other person is like, oh no, that's a good ass song. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Do you ever see like one song? You release you do one song, right, and then like 2 years later you do another song. Do you ever feel like it's the progression of that song?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I
Like
literally on purpose now like try to make like the V3 of songs.
like an adapted version of the song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a on purpose thing because like, it's easier that way. And like, yeah, that worked. So let's.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
figure out how to.
I
do
feel
it
like
again.
our entire process of working when we were doing that at the old house was like, and it was like we were kind of copying the same formula of making songs, especially when it's just you and I or me and you with somebody on the song. We
Yeah,
already knew
yeah.
the formula, so it was like
Yeah.
we were taking Flip My Own and just taking it to different tempos.
Right,
And,
yeah.
the same formula.
So I think it's a lot of people don't understand references. Like when we were going in the studio and using reference tracks, they think it's like, oh, you're trying to like recreate some like song you hear on the radio or some shit. And it's like it's way beyond that. It's catching a vibe from it. It's catching a feel for it. It's catching a like how did this artist incite these feelings when I listen to this song?
Yeah.
What made that happen, and how can I go about doing that? And then once you can get to a step where you're going to your own shit to reference it, like we're talking about,
Yeah.
that shit's fire. So absolutely, I
The
definitely.
reference is not always sound either, which probably could have. A lot
No,
of people
yeah,
confused.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, people like don't like. Right now, I could fucking reference a Playboy Cardi song or some shit. Everybody knows damn well I'm not gonna sound like Playboy Cardi.
Right.
I'm just not going to. Like,
There's people who do.
yeah. Now, yeah, there are people that really do, and that's why I get why people have hesitation.
Spitting.
I get why people have hesitation
Spitters.
for the reference tracks because there are plenty of people that just are literally trying to copy other artists. But
It's about
when you can understand how to be inspired by somebody else's art and let it, just like create new ideas in your own head, that's when that shit is really dope to me. So
I
when you
feel
can
like
do it
it's
with your own stuff,
just
it's even cooler.
understanding that I'm not copying by copying. Like the word copy makes people so afraid.
Yeah.
But it's like literally everything you do is your parents helped raise you. Whoever
Man.
helped raise you raised you. So
I heard
you're
Pharrell say
copying
some shit
everything.
the other day. Pharrell said some shit like, he was like, life is literally a public library. And
I saw that shit.
all of our ideas are just books we're checking out. So it's like no matter what idea it is, you may have had it authentically in that moment. It was genuine to yourself, but like it's been checked out before.
You
Yeah.
checked
Some
that out of the
point in
library,
time.
didn't even know.
Yeah.
One of my
That's
homies told me
yeah.
some
I
like
don't even
crazy
like
thing. I think it's called the Archaic
read.
Records or something like that.
What is it?
Archaic Records, but I think it's like universal spiritual stuff. But like it's a place where like pretty much all ideas exist, and it kind of just goes to people.
I mean,
Oh yes, that's an old theory that
it's called
like,
AWA.
thoughts. Thoughts are actually ours, but ideas exist in like their own plane. Humans tap.
Does it make me think of the talking tree from what is that from? Is that Pocahontas? No. You know the tree that talks and like Disney
That's why I
movie?
said AWA. I was
The
thinking
Giving
of
Tree. I'm
Avatar.
thinking of the Giving
Yeah.
Tree.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
my
thinking of the
god.
Giving Tree.
If I have a fire
forgot
idea and I
about
can't
that.
work on it, I purposely put it into the deepest part of my subconscious.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I'll think of something, and then I'll act like I'm gonna do it, and then I don't, and then someone in my world ends up doing the same thing in their own version.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I'll
But
be like, this
if
thought
I
I have
keep
is
it-
cringy, and then I make a reference to it ever so lightly, far distant in the future.
Yeah.
But no one knows it's a reference to a cringy thing that I thought in my brain.
I thought of that first.
Dang. So like freaking Round and Round.
Round
How
and
did that
round.
come about?
That was one of those ones where we were just there. That was not thought about at all.
Me and Asa used to be, me and XD.Rar used to be at his house when he lived in
Doxed.
Doxed. He lived in the he lived in the Excelsior, and that's kind of our friendship was born. And I would be over there a lot with a lot of our other homies too, just making hella music, but very how would I explain that? Like, it was the epitome of like we were getting fucked up and making music. We weren't just fucking around. We were making hella music. I don't say we were getting fucked up to like deter from the fact that we were, but it was a deeply influenced music section every time. I'll say that. So that's where we made Round and Round, the original version. So I'm over at XD's house like every day, months. We're making hella shit with all the homies. And then finally one day, Pat, studio dad, was like, "What do you like? Can I hear some of this shit? Like, you be over there making music all the time." So that ended up being one of the first songs I played him. And that also was kind of studio dad's introduction to XD. So then we ended up having a little camp at the studio. We do little writing camps at Different Fur at the studio that Taifa and I work at in San Francisco. And so studio dad planned a camp specifically with XD in mind to come
I had
through.
no idea I was at a camp. I thought I was just showing up to the studio.
And then
like multiple days.
I think it was 3 days. Yeah, it was 3 days. Yeah, it was 3 days. But we remade that song. We made a couple other ones too. But I think that was the only one that got the cut. Yeah, NFT Chain is another. We didn't end up releasing that
We
one.
performed that one a couple times.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say. Wait, did I?
Oh yeah, we have performed
Yeah.
NFT Chain. Yeah.
That was an experiment, I think.
It
But, I
was.
mean, it was us testing our hype sound.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, we could do Round and Round live probably. We tried that once.
Have we?
It's just a lot. Or we practiced it. I don't think we ended up
Yeah.
doing it in the show. But yeah, that was definitely an organic ass just fucking, we were on and we made that shit. And then Studio Dad heard it and was like, "This is sick. Let me flip this beat with Asa or with XD." Fuck.
No,
man.
that was Drew Banga.
You're right.
Is that just a Drew Banga beat?
That was just a Drew Banga beat. I had lyrics already prepped from Ellington for that song.
Oh, so we took the lyrics from the
Drew-
other one and just put it on the Drew
Drew came
Banga.
in the studio and he started playing that beat, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Go ahead and just drop that out right now."
That's
And I was
it,
like, "I already
yeah.
got shit prepped," and then you just wrote something hella fast. I remember.
No, it's the same verse.
Oh, shit.
It's the
Oh,
verse
shit.
from
I
what we
think maybe you
originally wrote in
switched the flow
Ellington.
up.
I probably
Yeah.
did switch a couple
Yeah.
things up, but that was the same day that he played us Devontae,
Yeah.
the Devontae beat. Yeah.
Drew.
Drew. Yeah, shout out Drew Banga.
I'm gonna play that song really quick. This is
Okay.
Round and Round by Ricky Lake and XD.Rar.
If I gotta go close, I hit my OG for that G right, okay. When I feel too low, I hit the road and play this for I'm EA. When I'm on my own and I just go no toe to toe, no. Barely made my flight, but I got pipes in SFO, yeah. Turn on location, she in rotation for the show, I'm on the stage, half drunk. She in the front row, turning up. Back in the country for the summer. Next day froze that look like tundra, yeah. I'm like, fuck it, we having luncheons in the function, yeah. But I move like X's, gone like niggas that don't pay taxes. Still tag digits in the attic, yeah. But I can't miss practice, gotta have balance, we too valid for that. Gotta have balance, we too valid for that.
Doing shows, I'm in the school, I'm in the O, yeah. I'm placing all my tickets in a row, yeah. Had to mind the whip, switch out the lipids to say, oh, yeah. I pull out in the Tesla. Doing shows, I'm in the school, I'm in the O, yeah. I'm placing all my tickets in a row, yeah. Had to mind the whip, switch out the lipids to say, oh, yeah. I pull out in the Tesla. Pull up the Tesla.
I just wanna know, do you need this knife back? Think you left it in my side, and my guts keep slipping out, dripping out, drops on the pavement, stains on the concrete. Just need to know, do you want this knife back? When you left it in my side, and my guts kept slipping out, it's dripping out. Oh, I can't feel a thing.
Stab you in the back. Yeah, I know the game, but I'm not these lames. You can't try me, flapping up your mouth. All you sound the same, everyday complaint. Shut the fuck up. How many sevens can you roll? Bet you're out of luck. Starts to take a toll on the dick you suck. Snakes in the grass, snakes in your ass. Take you back to class, never showed up. Too busy glowing up, now watch me blow it up. Tick, tick, boom, I'm going to the moon. Too busy glowing up, now watch me blow it up. Tick, tick, boom, I'm going to the moon.
When I try to remember the way I miss you, keeps slipping out, dripping out, drops on the pavement, stains on the concrete. Just need to know, do you want this knife back? When you left it in my side and my guts kept slipping out, was dripping out. Now I can't feel a thing, 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 can't feel a thing. I just wanna know, do you need this knife back? Think you left it in my side and my guts keep slipping out, dripping out, drops on the pavement, stains on the concrete. Just need to know, do you want this knife back? When you left it in my side and my guts kept slipping out, was dripping out. Now I can't feel a thing, 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 can't feel a thing.
All right, we're back.
Crazy how.
That was cute.
This is Wockie World Podcast. My name is Wockie. And the last song we played was In My Side by Maj and Taifa. How did that song come about?
So we were just talking about writing camps, right? So that was I want to say 2 writing camps ago, where Maj came out. Shout out Maj, she's really dope. Working with her, I was like kind of nervous because I was like, oh shit, like she damn near goated. So like, let me, I like let her do her thing. Like, I was like, you're in this room, we can do whatever the fuck. Like, I get it. That song comes around, and fuck, what's one dude's name? He is Canadian. He was there at the writing camp too. White dude. He was hella cool.
Oh, you're talking about Hills, homie?
Yeah. What was his
Oh,
name?
I want to say his name is Matt. Mike. His name is
It's
Mike.
Mike. Yeah. Shout out to Mike too. He also worked on it as well, and we were like, all right, well, we wanted to do like hyper pop stuff. Like that's why Cat's Out the Bag. That's why she was there. So we were like, all right, let's really try. Let's do it. We like worked together, like Pat, Mike, and I on that beat. She goes in and like she has like 2 parts. She has like that hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she has like another part that like I guess she was trying out hooks. And so like Pat was like, let's just keep making a bunch of hooks and like just keep stacking them, layering them, whatever you like go behind her. And he was like, you write a verse, but he was like, do you like Blink-182? And I was like sad Blink-182, or like I just pissed on my cat, like
Yeah.
huffing paint.
I was talking about that song the other day.
He was like, yeah, like he's like that one. So that's why like everything I was like, all right, here we go. Like we getting Dr. Seuss about it. So yeah, it just came together good. It was like a good vision. And like I remember after the fact, I was like, this is ridiculous. Let's drop it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I remember hearing Taifa's verse and just being like, what? Maj is different, though. Maj is, in 2 ways to me, Maj is a different type of artist. Like, one way is when we're in there making shit, whether she can produce, too. She can produce damn well. But even if it's like a situation or context like that where maybe she's not the head producer at all on the track, she is in the room, at different for in the studio, there's like hella keyboards everywhere and shit. She's going to all the keyboards, trying out sounds, just fucking around,
So sick.
singing in the room as she's writing,
Yeah.
like, and not in any type of it's not like out of pocket at all. It's like not uncomfortable.
No,
it's
you're
like,
like-
it's like a
great.
flow.
That's why I said
Yeah.
I was like a backseat, which is fun for me because I'm usually like doing what she's doing, where I'm like beat the boot,
Yeah.
all the shit, But I was watching her do, and I was like, go off, go crazy, That's like it's inspiring to watch. But
She's also the type of artist. I was talking to Studio Dad, to Pat, about this the other day. There's like a few that I know. I would say Maj, if anybody knows bruh from last night, he's another one.
Ricky,
There's probably a couple other I could think of. But the type of artist where like I'm a songwriter and I'm proud of my songwriting capabilities. I think I can write well. Every once in a while I can freestyle a melody or something and it'll work out. Like I can do my shit. Like I'm proud of that. But those are the type of people where it's like a physical, like music comes out of them naturally.
Yeah.
Like you put on a beat and they go in just to start freestyling, fucking around, get some ideas down. Obviously, you're just not gonna be like, okay, the song is done, but you're sitting there like, oh wow, like that's it. It's not gonna be some shit where they need to come out and be like, oh, like it's just immediately, like they feel the fucking. I mean, it sounds corny, but like I don't know how they do it because I don't naturally do that. I can say that. Like I'm not that type of person.
I feel like it's an understanding of like knowing that they're all just tools for the same thing.
Yeah. People that just like really, really understand their voices and their tones and their capabilities of like reaching for the weirdest melody. You know, there's a lot of shit that happens to me in the booth sometimes where in retrospect, I'll be like, it was hesitation. Yeah. It was a subconscious hesitation that I didn't push it to that level to try and just be weirder or try and be, you know, whatever, different than because it's really easy for us to stick to like what we're used to.
You can just say I wasn't drunk enough.
And that is why it is a very thin balance because the second you get a little bit too drunk, for me, it's all that. It's like I'm not.
Still, you're tired and shit.
It's just more than lose confidence. I'm just tired. I'm like I'd rather do anything else than make music. But there's a little pocket. Sometimes. You say what?
It was being a little too sober.
Yeah.
I like if I'm recording an instrument, like I like to call it the swing oil. You know, like when you play golf, you're supposed to have one
beer. Exactly.
Like I need at least one beer.
Time for performance. Yeah.
But like if I'm singing, I hate being drunk.
It's definitely a very thin line. Yeah.
Very, very thin line.
For the fish narc, that was exactly how it was. Because during sound check, I was just like, I got to be on stage. And then I had one beer, and I was like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, right?
I immediately I was turned the fuck up at
the fish narc. You just need it. You're like, oh, there we go.
Low-key, everybody was pretty turned up at fish narc.
Well, I brought everyone to the car and was like, tequila now.
I feel like I have been drunk since Wednesday.
That'd be welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It is hitting like a bomb, too.
Hey, but we also... Since you've been back, Taifa, and with the help of XD.Rar and the help of Wobbles, and shout out Marco and shout out Intersection in downtown Oakland.
Yeah, shout them out. No, that was really tight.
Yeah,
need to do that.
I'll let Taifa explain what it is he did.
I like disassociated the whole time because I was kind of like I've just learned personally that if you stress about things, you just stress about them while you do it, so you can just not, you know.
This shit's gonna go how it's gonna go. You can either be stressed or not.
Jesus is taking the wheel regardless. Maybe,
whether or not you're in line with Jesus or not that day is up to you.
So fucking D-Dot called me, FaceTimes me like literally the day before, right? He's like, hey, you gonna do that thing still? And I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. He's like, if you don't do it, who else is gonna do it?
The thing is that we dropped a mixtape with our clique called Portion Club. We just dropped our first mixtape as a group, and we wanted to do a small release party.
The backstory for it was that we wanted to do a release party, and like it was up in the air, like nobody actually solidified anything. So he calls me on FaceTime. He's like, well, if you don't do it, who's gonna do it? That's when my brain was like buckled up my shoes. I was like, here we go.
Petty Fest Part 2.
He's like, anyway, I'm here with the people right here. Like, you want to talk to them right now? And I was like, okay. We talked to him.
You literally saw them the next day.
Yeah.
Like, met them for the first time.
Literally. And, like, we talked to him, whatever. He's like, you trying to do this tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, is that cool? And, like, and we were all down, like, fucking XD put together a flyer. Like, we started pulling equipment. We started doing da-da-da-da-da. They text us at, like, 10 p.m. when I'm at dinner. Like, we feel some type of way about this. Like, you know, not respectfully, because like, they didn't have space. They didn't want to, like,
the timing was last minute as hell.
It was last minute. It was fucking 24 hours. So I'm like, all right, fucking, we got to find a new spot. We ended up actually using like the same spot but the opposite side. Like we ended up like talking to like the owner.
Oh, that's the same spot.
The same spot. That's why it was hella funny.
Yeah.
We showed up and he was like, "Oh, would you like to use this room instead?" And I was like, "This is the original room."
Yes.
I was like, "I like the bigger room. I'll take that." And like. Beforehand, we like went to the wine bar.
We like pulled up to like help set up like earlier, I guess at like 4 or like 3.
Damn.
And they just nobody was there to let us in. So
we took a shit outside. I was like, we don't gotta do that.
We were like waiting outside. Ty was like, yeah, there's a guy taking a shit outside. Like, yeah,
there's a piece of shit outside.
Let's go to the wine bar.
Let's go to the wine bar. We went to the wine bar.
Shout out Ordinaire.
Yeah, shout out Ordinaire. We had some natty wine. I got a little silly. Came back and like everyone showed up and just helped out. Like. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I'll take it. Like it wasn't supposed to happen. We didn't stress about it. You know, like when I was there, like you get into the mode of like, oh, hey, project management, make shit happen. Like make sure nobody does this, that, whatever. But everyone was super respectful and like really like chipped in and like just, you know, good community feeling. They were like, all right, what do you need? And I was like, just for you to have fun, please.
We didn't destroy the space this time.
This time.
This time. No, but yeah, so since you've been back, you may have been drunk the whole time, but you threw an event. You threw an event. We played a show. You practiced with 2 different bands.
I did.
You celebrated Bronwyn's boyfriend Zach's birthday. Shout out
Shout out
Zach.
Zach. Yeah.
You're doing a podcast. Yeah. You're doing a podcast thing now, like, you know,
What's next for you?
functional, bro.
No alcoholism. No.
That's
Speaking
motion,
of
bro. What
which.
are you?
Can we take a shot for the sake of it? Yeah. All right, Wockie, I got a question for you. Sir.
Yeah.
Are you excited to go to New York?
I'm super excited. I've been scared the last 2 weeks that I'm not gonna sleep.
You've been saying that.
I feel
Yeah,
like I heard
dude,
you say that out loud.
last time
like in a few days, huh?
I leave on Wednesday. Yeah, last time I went, I didn't sleep for 3 days. I was gonna go on day 4, and it started hella raining. So yeah, because the goal was just to go get soul food, then like just go bomb around Brooklyn, then get my shit from the Airbnb, and then go on a ferry to go to watch the Statue of Liberty, and then make my way to the airport. I was hella on one.
That's damn near why. I
Were
didn't
you by
choose-
yourself?
No, I was with my homegirl, Lil Helica. Yeah, we both caught the bug after Jug Mac's show, and we just never
Damn.
slept since.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, I went to Harlem and it started raining. I had a jersey on, no tank top. It was crazy.
You thought it was California.
Yeah, I was about
I
to
thought it was
say,
California, dude. I was like, I'm having the time of my life.
Last time I was telling, I forgot who I was telling this last night, but when I was in New York with Marissa, I had Converse on in the snow, right?
Fuck.
And like obviously that's a bad idea. So I'm
Feet
walking down the
soaking.
street, right? Feet soaking, whatever. One dude walks by. He said, "Ha, you hella man! Look at you!" He said, "Go get you some fucking Timbs," and then like kept pushing. And I was like, I sat there and I had that moment. It was like Arthur. I was like,
Little balled up
Bro,
fist.
he literally
Did
did
you
get some
the
Timbs?
New York stereotype to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and I think about this to this day. I was like, New York is different, bro, because he said that because he cared.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't
Converse
being-
in the snow.
He's like, I bet you never do it
Immediately.
again. I was like, I won't. Like, damn, go get you some Timbs. I was like, I should. Like, thank
Like you knew you would be friends with him in like a year.
I saw some shit about New York or some meme. It was like, you gotta get a new jacket every year, or else all your homies will clown you when it starts getting cold.
Oh, yeah, bro.
They be like, it was the same ass fucking jacket last 5 years.
I'm like, only because I have friends from New York do I get a new down jacket
Yeah,
every
that's
fucking season.
I'm like, that's not a cheap. That's expensive. Like,
It's
damn.
expensive. Down is feathers. Prices going up.
Yeah,
but
North Face is not playing.
New York is funny, man. Like, I feel like New Yorkers hate Los Angeles, but kind of fuck with the Bay, in like my opinion. Of
That's
talking.
most
with
people
this.
in the
I
country.
feel like there's a sense of hypiness on both sides.
Is it like a class
Yeah.
solidarity
Yeah.
between like the the people who live in like Brooklyn and like the people who live in like Oakland, San Francisco?
Well, there's a perspective that LA is like super elitist too. So
I mean, I feel like Manhattan and LA are like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like Brooklyn and Bay are like two sides of the same coin. But
I'm excited for New York. I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some good music. I'm gonna eat some good food.
oh yeah, it's gonna be some solid.
y'all
food
got
out there.
one day.
I'm taking up that.
You better fucking. throw
You're
that
there
shit
for one
all.
day?
No, I
They're
got.
there for 3 days.
So
So I got
One.
Thursday night when we get there, and I got Friday night. Or no, we get there Friday. I just have Friday night, and then Saturday we have the show, which will be
Yeah.
lit in itself. Like
Yeah.
there's so much shit. And then actually we go on Purgatory. Anybody from New York listening? Brooklyn, Purgatory, on June 17th,
2023.
2023. Doors at 11 p.m.
God damn.
Crazy. They don't even call it afters
That's what
or
makes it
anything.
so
It's just a
lit,
normal ass show. I'm like, that's fire,
What is
bro.
it? 11 to 3, 12 to 3?
11 to 4.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll be in the right the sleep.
Oh, I'm gonna be. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
I've been telling everybody that we're gonna do a show at this place called the Purgatory that shares a fence with a cemetery.
Whoa.
If you look on Google Maps, yeah, it's
Where we're playing it?
yeah.
That's pretty hard.
That's fucking sick.
That's
Yeah, there's
fucking
a cemetery right next to it.
You
sick.
got to know that.
They did that on
Yeah.
purpose.
They did, yeah.
It's not as cool now.
Wait, what? That's kind of crazy. I'm for sure gonna explore the cemetery. If
Yeah.
I
Is
can.
it private?
I don't know. I just saw on Google Maps.
Okay, we'll check it out.
I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, we have the Friday night, then Saturday show.
What are you
Then
planning on
Sunday
doing
night.
Friday night? Do you have any plans?
Friday night, I heard Mari Fresh is in town, right?
Oh yeah, we're doing. She's doing a cumbia party
In Brooklyn?
in Brooklyn. Yeah.
sounds
Fuck
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Last time we went, dude, it was fucking sick. There's for the last year for Jug Max thing. There's like 50 of us. We all went to a rooftop bar during a full moon at a cumbia party. That shit was sick. as
So
fuck,
down.
dude.
What? That sounds so legendary.
Yeah, that was.
Fucking sick.
Bust down's like the same time as our thing. I'm pretty sure.
It's a schedule confliction.
You would know.
Huh?
I think it's 11 to 4 too.
Yeah, shout out Bust Down.
Yeah, shout out Bust Down. Shout out Jug Mac, man. It's just
You're gonna have
unfortunate
crazy
series of events that
I'm
our events
excited,
had to be on the
dude.
same day.
I mean, of course it would.
But that being said, I mean, it's pretty tight because there's just a lot of people in the Bay because me and Jug are both doing this shit.
Yeah,
is
like
gonna
all
be
the
hella
Bay
fun.
Areas
There's
coming out.
so many Bay homies. Like we were just with the homie Nasty last night, and he was like leaving, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I'll see y'all like later." And we were like, "Wait a
You
minute,
go to New
like
York?
you going to New
Yeah.
York?" Yeah, he was like, "Oh wait, shit, I'm gonna be going to yeah." Everybody's going to New
I'm still
York.
trying to figure out what I'm gonna play. I just know my foundation is Mike Sherm reggaeton music.
That sounds solid.
I want to play
Yeah,
all the disrespectful Bay music, but over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But there's also gonna be hell of us over there.
It's gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have a Bay audience.
a few times.
Yeah.
I'll probably like 5 times. Third World is gonna be played like 8 times. All right, so this is Wockie World Podcast. We got XD.Rar doing a DJ mix. Let's go.